Alright then, apologies for the brief delay there. Let's try and get this show on the road. Today, we're talking about Article 13. Let's do this.
vidIQ.
vidIQ.
vidIQ.com.
Hello everybody, welcome back to vidIQ. My name is Rob, and let me give you the reason why we had a brief delay there before getting this live stream started. For some reason, 20 minutes ago, my network card decided it wasn't going to work, and now I'm having to rely on my Wi-Fi. Fingers crossed this works, because I've had cataclysmic problems with Wi-Fi in the past when live streaming. So if all of a sudden I disappear, I do apologize very much. You are watching, of course, the weekly vidIQ live stream, where we talk about a big topic of the week and we look at your channels by doing audits. If you would like your channel audited this week, we do have a form in the live stream video description. If you fill it out, we don't discriminate by channel size. It could be a channel with 1 subscriber or 1 million subscribers. We don't choose channels based on super chats. If you're in the form, we take a look, and hopefully you can be audited this week. If you aren't, unfortunately, we do apologise. There are only so many channels we can audit every single week, but we will be looking at those channels in a short while. So if you are joining us here in the live stream, don't forget to, of course, give the thumbs up if you are joining via live stream, and subscribe to vidIQ, of course. If you want to say hello and let us know where you are in the world, then please do so. And phew, relief, I can hear the noises in the background of Jeremy Vest joining here on the live stream. I was doing a little bit of filler there because we've all been really rushed off our feet this morning, and I'm going to bring Jeremy in just as he finishes sorting out the focus for his video. Jeremy Vest, you are live on the live stream. How are you doing today? Sorry about all the short notice, but yeah, we are all rushed this morning.
Hey, how's it going?
Very good, thank you very much. Everybody's saying hello here, so everybody here, Johnny Bear, True Financials, Rox, Roman Axam, Samuel Daram, Super User Tech Mods. It's as if nothing went wrong. I was just saying to the viewers here, Jeremy, that I've had network issues minutes before this live stream started. We're on Wi-Fi, so I do hope that everything works. But of course, we are going to be talking today about Article 13, something that we're all trying to understand here a lot more. And I've done a very short presentation where we're going to try and understand things. So, Jeremy, if you're ready to get into the technicalities and the deep conversation we're having right now on Article 13, do let me know and we'll jump into it.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm definitely not an expert, but I'll do my best.
Yeah, I think that's what we need to preface here with what we're going to be talking about here, which is the fact that this is all relatively new to us here. This Article 13. It was, I think, the motion went forward in September, and ever since YouTube got a handle of what's going on here, they've started to. I'm not going to say panic is the right word, but bring awareness to all of the video creators out there and just how it's going to affect everybody. So I tried to make some notes here. And if you have any comments on this, and if you know more than us, please do help people out in the comments to try and understand how this is going to impact not just me, not just Jeremy, not just people in the US, not just people in the EU. This has the potential to impact people all over the world. It's going to be bigger than adpocalypse. It's going to be bigger than the Logan Paul controversy. It's going to be bigger than the monetization requirements that were brought in at the beginning of this year. This could have an impact on everybody, but at the same time, is it as drastic and could it have as huge effect as everybody's sort of scaremongering at the moment? Well, we just don't know. So to try and put it into a little bit of perspective here, Article 13 is part of a proposed bill in the EU. So this doesn't necessarily originate from the US, Canada, Asia, but it is a law proposed in the EU. And to try and explain it in one line, it's to protect copyright holders of their content, because with the introduction of the internet, people are ripping off other people's content so much now. I think one of the reasons this bill is designed is to protect those people who are creating this content from all of those people who intended to use it. The problem with this bill as it's being proposed at the moment is, I think, that it has the potential to make the distributors of this content more liable than they currently are. So if you think about going back to, I don't know, the beginning of 2000, if anybody can remember Napster, and that was a place where people could share music and video files, and it was always a case of Napster were never hosting the content. They were just connecting the file to the person who wanted to download the content. And of course, it was downloading copyrighted content and so forth. And it almost maybe perhaps puts YouTube in that same boat where they're the person connecting the content creator with the viewer, and they're going to be held responsible if that content creator is misusing that copyright material. And because of that, YouTube would be held responsible as opposed to Content ID and YouTube trying to ensure that the content that they identify as copyright, that the onus is placed on the creator to then not put that content up and they can quickly take it down. I mean, I'm trying to explain it there as best I understand it, Jeremy. Would you agree more or less with what I've said so far, or do you have a slightly different interpretation?
Yeah, I think the easiest way to understand it, in my opinion, is YouTube would be held liable, and other like Vimeo and other platforms, Facebook, and that is insane in my opinion, because the reality is, how do I put this? We have a global online thing that's happening, and if you put those kind of restraints on it, essentially, you're asking for a big chunk of what's created online to be gone.
Yeah, and I think when we try and look into what's defined as copyright, is I think this bill seems to assume that pretty much anything in a video or in music has some copyright roots, which might not necessarily be with the content producer. Like if I just move myself now, you can see a Super Mario question mark block in the background. And that might be considered, I think, in this new world, as me having some copyrighted material from Nintendo, which I don't necessarily have a permission to show in this live stream. And so that would be a case of, well, I've got to prove before I go on this live stream that I have permission from Nintendo to use this. And let's be honest, I don't. It's just a bit of a background fauna in my content. And that's how I interpret YouTube's stance on this, in that in order for you to have content, you would need to prove that you own all of this. Whether it's cultural references, something that you're wearing on a t-shirt, maybe even a catchphrase or some music or a sound effect that you use. And all of this would be impossible to manage from YouTube. So what they would have to do is essentially block any content that's created from a EU video creator to be seen outside of the EU, or vice versa, a viewer in the EU to not be able to view content from those creating videos outside of the EU because of all this copyright confusion again. Again, Jeremy, you're sort of like my sanity check here. Does that sound right in the way I've interpreted the use of copyright there as well?
Yeah, it really does. And if this law was to take an effect as is, I honestly believe that YouTube and similar companies may actually just boycott the EU altogether.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I mean, if you're telling me that if I make a vehicle and someone, hits a tree in my vehicle, then I'm liable, even though they're the ones that was drinking and driving, like it doesn't make sense to me. Like the way the internet and all, is set up right now is people can do what they want. You legally have to be the copyright holder to create content and use things. But the reality is there's fair use. There's all kinds of gray areas within copyright. And if you think of mail and television and, everything that's ever happened in the history of the world with media, there's always been this sense of, of gray area where I may be wearing a t-shirt, but I'm not endorsed by that company, or I don't have the rights to use that, but it's okay. Think about video game creators.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Guys, think of them. Think about this. Every second and every visual happening on every video gameplay that's ever happened on YouTube, in my understanding of this law, would actually be against their law.
And that's a brilliant point that you raised, because this isn't just about future content. This would apply to all existing content on YouTube as well. So come January or whenever the law potentially comes into effect, YouTube would have to essentially block all of this content again going from the EU to the US. And if people are thinking, this is a victory for those who hate YouTube, and this is revenge for all of their requirements and the firmer restrictions they put into copyright in the last year. This isn't just YouTube. This is going to affect the entirety of the internet. And I know it sounds like a very base way to put it, but whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, Vimeo, Dailymotion, all of these websites are supposedly going to have to conform to these new laws and regulations. And when you think about all of the memes that are on Twitter and all of it, as
Did
Jeremy
we lose
said,
you there, Rob?
No, I'm still here. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can anybody hear me? Just checking. Hello,
you're back.
I'm back. Okay, so yeah, I do apologize. This is where my Wi-Fi may be cutting out on us a little bit there. So I was just saying that with all the memes and the video compilations and all of these parody things and educational things that you see across all of the internet, you would have to prove somehow before you even put this content onto a distribution platform that you own the rights, or you can argue fair use. And it's almost like at the moment I think distribution platforms allow you to put the content on, and then they may check it, or they may allow somebody to report it about copyright and fair use. But if this goes forward, it's almost like, if you think about Game of Thrones, putting up a huge wall which just does not allow people to enter it unless they have permission to do so. Unless, of course, I'm getting into a very strange Game of Thrones metaphor here. There is the undead army suddenly arrives, and then there's panic everywhere. So yeah, that's our understanding of Article 13 as it stands. Jeremy, if you've got any final thoughts here, as I just show people a couple of websites where they can visit and get more information, and then we'll maybe take a couple of comments from people.
I guess the only thing I would say is with billions and billions of dollars at stake, I doubt the original creators of this had this intent that we think they're going to have. And
they call it unintended consequences, I think,
right.
But they're just not realizing, they've not heard this voice yet, I guess, from this area of the internet.
I'm guessing that there will be compromise, and this will end up passing very watered down. I'm all about everything being legal. I'm all about having the copyright creators getting paid.
And you often say, when you're auditing channels, like, this looks as if there's some copyright material here, you're very stringent on noticing when channels do this already.
I mean, I've worked with dozens of the largest brands in the world on YouTube, so I kind of have that hardcore, if it's not yours, you better not use it or you're going to get in trouble. That's just how I was kind of brought up in this industry. But my gut feeling would tell me that there will be a watered down version of this that will help a little bit, protect copyright holders. But I doubt this is going to pass. It would literally change the face of the internet.
I agree. And I think I think YouTube and other platforms are giving us a worst case scenario at this point. It reminds me a little bit of net neutrality, in that was a big issue, I think, this time last year. It was passed, and now it seems to be, I don't know where it is at the moment. It seems to be in limbo in the US at the moment, so that really hasn't affected users too much, I think, at the moment. Forgive me if I'm wrong there, because I don't live in the US, but I think it will be the same with Article 13. We will get some something out of this, but I don't think what YouTube are saying and others will necessarily come to pass. If you want more information now, if you go to youtube.com/save your internet, that will take you to this page, which includes a video on the subject. There's lots of FAQs and some prominent video creators who were talking about the issue as well. There's also another site here called saveyourinternet.eu. I'm not sure what the motives of this site are, so just be careful about whether this is biased information that you're reading, but this was a link I got from one of Philip DeFranco's videos, and he's obviously usually a very good authority on unbiased news. And if you want to read the document, here it is. It's 64 pages long, so I'm not going to spend too much time reading it just yet. But if you want to go through the whole thing, if you are interested in law and have a particular insight on this, then we'd love to know your thoughts. So let's, if you do have any comments on that now, we're just going to take them from you now. If you have anything of interest to say here before we look at the audits for this week. Jeremy, you may need to move about 6 or 7 inches to your right just to get in picture. There we are. We usually do these sorts of things before we go live, but Jeremy joined us minutes into this live stream. So I know somebody was saying that, so this affects people in the EU, so it looks as if for our user base doesn't have a particularly clued up knowledge of this, and that's fine because we're just sort of understanding this now. So yeah, definitely something that you want to be Googling, checking the websites that I've suggested. Article 13 affects even Britain, so yeah, even though Britain is potentially going through Brexit at the moment, even if they do exit the EU, they'll be put in the same pile as the US and Canada and elsewhere, where their content can be blocked from the EU and whatnot. Anything else that you can see there, Jeremy, quickly in the chat as I'm looking through it, or is it more?
No, everyone's just hating on it. There's been a lot of emojis, so I know you like all the emojis.
Yeah, we especially Johnny Bear, who's given us a lot of emojis there, saying that he has to go. Lots of smiles there and a heart broken from Austin Devro. So yeah, I think this is this video at the moment, this live stream is just to raise awareness for you. I think I'm going to do a bit more research on this and maybe put a video forward in the coming days or weeks about Article 13. But yeah, definitely something you want to be paying attention to if you are a video creator. All right, it's time to go into your favorite part of the show. If Jeremy is ready, I am certainly ready. Let's do some channel audits.
I'm ready.
All right, I just have to click some buttons here to make sure that Jeremy can once again see my screen. Jeremy, please confirm.
Yep.
You can see my screen. Right, the first channel we are looking at this week is a person who contacted me, and I wanted to know really about how a channel, an educational channel, who's decided to focus on a very specific keyword, and I think his specific keyword was photo manipulation, and this is Canvas Pute. I do apologize if I pronounced that part of your channel name wrong. And seems to be a relatively new channel. You're getting views in the double digits at this point, like 50, 20. So welcome to YouTube. Yeah, I can see that you're a month old at the moment. So very much at the start of your YouTube journey, but already plenty of awesome YouTube fundamentals here in terms of the thumbnails. And I guess as a photo site, photo manipulation, image retouch, you should have good thumbnails. Jeremy, I think what we want to be doing here is maybe giving this channel some general advice about what they should be looking at in terms of their keywords, SEO, trying to drive interest in their content. And I'll maybe sum this up with a few words at the end.
Yeah, the first thing I would say is don't hide your subscriber numbers. That actually really hurts channels because people don't trust you. The next thing I would say is you have great thumbnails. They're beautiful, they're phenomenal. I would just try to have more consistency in color and typography, and make your typography bigger because thumbnails are so small. The biggest opportunity I see, for example, like Liquify and Photoshop, is to really match the intent of search people are using with the passion you have to teach people Photoshop fundamentals. So do me a favor, Rob, and just type in Liquify and Photoshop.
Do you want me to include the underscore or just...
Up to you.
Okay. Liquify let's see if I can spell it right. Liquify in. Okay, so it came up almost pretty much straight away. Liquify Photoshop. Should we do that one?
Yeah, let's click on that.
Okay.
So how to use Liquify in Photoshop does seem to be probably the biggest key term.
Yeah.
How to use the Liquify tool.
I think there's a good example right here as well. I think this one with 200 subscribers, 30,000 views. All right, so it's a somewhat of an older video, but I think the thumbnail is like even more powerful on this one because it's such a zoomed in image of the effect that's being used, which I think
I'm a big fan of having the effect really zoomed in so people really can see what you're doing.
Yeah, so maybe if we just go back to this channel, then I think we can see, but I mean, there's still some white space on this, in particular on this Liquify one, so it could be even more zoomed in. And just as I look through all the other thumbnails, again, we see some strong background colors and images, but I think it's only when I use a magnifying glass on this thumbnail that I realize that there's a cat almost in the background of this, and I don't know, is that a sorcerer in the front of a thumbnail? I think there's still some opportunities here for maybe to... I think the thumbnails are very good in terms of their quality, but maybe there needs to be more thought on how a viewer is going to see these thumbnails at, 10%, 20% size of editing. Sorry, Jeremy, if I cut you off there.
No, you're good. Another thing I would say is the numbers, like 19, 20, bigger face, things like that. I don't think that's going to help you anymore. Back in the day, 3-4 years ago, things would kind of come up more sequentially on the right-hand side, but that doesn't seem to work anymore. Yeah. So I would probably just cut out the number 15, 16, 17, the episode numbers. I just don't think it's going to work anymore. And then just make sure you're using a very, very bold font on your thumbnails. But just make sure, like, for example, Liquify in Photoshop, I think you should have a series of 5 or 10 or 15 videos.
Yeah, there's 2 here, isn't it? But yeah.
You can actually use the Liquify tool to help with imperfections on people, not just in, making someone look like an alien, but you can do all kinds of stuff with Liquify. I actually, on my personal channel, I'm working on a Liquify tutorial myself on showing people how Markiplier uses the Liquify tool in his thumbnails and his Photoshop thumbnails to make them enhanced and weird.
I sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think maybe using popular YouTubers and say, like, how to liquify your thumbnail like Markiplier, or bringing in those... I'm sure people have seen these effects on other thumbnails and they want to know how to do it. So that might be other keyword and search intent that's on there. Absolutely. So yeah, I think that's a fantastic suggestion. So, like, for example, advanced Photoshop photo manipulation tutorial. I don't think people are typing much of those things in. I mean, you can use our tool and type in photo manipulation and see what the search intent is. People typically say things like how to use layers in Photoshop or in Adobe Photoshop. You know, that's the type of stuff people are searching for, like specific, how to use Photoshop, like easy ways to use Photoshop, or, getting started in Photoshop. That's the type of stuff people are searching for. So answering questions that people are asking, you're doing that, but I think you could do a little better job in matching that actual search intent with the passion. I think one last thought from me here as well, to the video creator. You are a month into this journey, so I think patience is going to be required, certainly in the educational area of YouTube, where a lot of this has probably been covered by other video creators over the 10 years that YouTube's been around. So it may take, I think I was saying in a comment to him, it may take 50, 100, 200 videos to really find the specific niche of tutorials in Photoshop. And another thing that just occurred to me is I was looking at some of the lengths of videos here. Some are 20 minutes long, 18 minutes long. It might be worth experimenting with just doing some videos which answer a very specific question in a very, very short, because when I'm using Photoshop, I often want a very specific answer to something very quickly. And then if I look at a video that's 12 minutes long, it's like, I just need to know the answer. I don't necessarily need to know all the detail of it. I just need to know exactly what the what the keyboard shortcut is, or like where to go on Photoshop. So it might be an idea just to start practice with a series of 2-minute guides or something, and just to see if that makes any difference on your content. Well, I think that's one of the deepest dives we've done into a channel. But there's lots of interesting stuff there to look at. So, Jeremy, I really appreciate your feedback there on that one.
One more thing, sorry.
Yes, go for it.
So one of the best ways to kick butt on Photoshop tutorials, by the way, I have like 10 friends that have millions of views on Photoshop tutorials. I'm a Photoshop nerd. One of the biggest ways is when things are new. So like when they have a new tool, be the first, second, third, or 20th, to really talk deep about that new tool. That is where search intent matches, you being first. Rob and I, for vidIQ and my personal channel, we were some of the very first people to talk about the new YouTube hashtags. And still to this day, I think 2 vidIQ videos and I think my personal channel video ranks in like the top 10 or something for new YouTube hashtags. So we dominate on google.com, we dominate on YouTube, and we're vidIQ is number 1 and 2 in the world for those terms because we were first. It's not because we have the biggest channel. It's not because we have the best videos, even though they're pretty good.
well, we do really.
Well,
humbly speaking.
But and there's
there you are, Jeremy. 20,000 views. Yeah, congratulations there. Good stuff.
Pretty crazy. On a small channel with less than 4,000 subscribers to get almost 20,000 views on a video, it's because we were there first.
Yeah, and I think, like, just as an example, Tim Schmorry is probably one of the very well-established video creators. I think he did a video on hashtags, but it was maybe a week or 2 later, and that can make such a difference. And if you look here, the top 2 videos, like this video here has 100,000 views. The second one, which we made like a couple of weeks later, only has 7,000 views. And just being at the top of the search terms is such prime real estate on YouTube. You wouldn't believe the difference in just click-through rate that you can see from these. I did a very, very recent video where I think the click-through rate on this top video is about 12%, and then the click-through rate on the second video in the search rankings is like 3 or 4%. You can have a huge impact.
And that's a beautiful point that no one really talks about. Like, hey, what's your click-through rate on your thumbnails?
Yeah.
Most people don't take into account where you are in the order of things.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because my thumbnails that get 14, 15, 16% click-through rate are number 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
The ones that are 9 or 10, they get like 2% click-through rate.
Yeah. All right, so sorry about that, folks. We're digressing a bit, and we're not trying to say, hey, look at vidIQ and how well we rank in the channels. But I think all of that's really useful information looking at your own channel, certainly in terms of search intent. And how do you put it, Jeremy? I love this phrase that you bring every week about your search intent must match your passion. Am I anywhere close to that? Just remind us again what that term is.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically what I'm saying is understand the exact words people are searching for, but make sure you're creating content that you're super passionate about and that makes you like get up in the morning and do what you do.
Boom. All right, next channel we have here is Unwanted Commentary. 720 subscribers for this channel. It is comedy, reactions, connecting with the unwanted nation. Just be aware that all of this section here in your channel banner will be removed on mobile devices, so you may want to shove at least the value proposition to the center there. I know what Jeremy would probably say right about now is that we cannot see you in the channel banner, and I think this channel does have a very distinguishable look, because if you look at this, I was looking at a couple of videos, and this one here is the character in the videos. I think he wears a green suit and a green screen so that then he can mask out his face and put this distorted TV static look on. So what are we thinking here, Jeremy? Some very colourful thumbnails here, which I think have good consistency. And I think as a skits channel is certainly targeting different trends, like the PewDiePie T-Series one, as we know, and TikTok that seems to be very popular at the moment. He was showing me this parody on Amazon Killed the Retail Store. It's like very well produced. I like, maybe just to give you an idea of a channel, I'll just play like 15 seconds of this just to get a grasp of what's going on here.
I used to go to Toys R Us when I was young, but now I can't because that store has been long gone.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun, and you know the idea of his face the whole time being just like, you know, a 1980s MTV static, you know, television screen is pretty cool. I like it. I think it's good. As far as the thumbnails go, I would say that they're A-, at least, you know, probably some of the best thumbnails we've seen in many months.
Mm-hmm. Pick a favorite, Jeremy, and tell us why. And we'll just go for why these are A- ones.
Well, I guess favorite is relative, right? So I would say the TikTok girls is going to be clicked the most.
Right. Okay.
For obvious reasons, right? Yep. As far as my personal favorite, it would probably be the attention all 9-year-old gamers PewDiePie crying, because PewDiePie has emotion there, and then boom, liquefy tool. So, you know, a lot of people are using a liquefy tool to just accentuate and make you know, faces ridiculous. When something's this small, you know, even your emotions and expressions and color and everything gets smaller. So although, you know, subconsciously we not look about how ridiculous the liquefy looks, subconsciously we are definitely seeing him cry. Yeah. And it's hard to do with just a normal face. So I really like how he accentuated it and dramatized the, I don't know if that was the word, the the emotion of PewDiePie there. I would say that what I dislike is the constant changing of the topography and color of the text. I think it should stay the same and in the same place so that people know it's your thumbnails versus someone else's.
Any thoughts about how this video creator can help reach a wider audience with the trends that he's following? Or is it a case of you have the right idea, but it's just waiting for that lightning in a bottle moments where one of those videos is picked up by somebody who shares it on Reddit or another social media platform, and the video takes off? Because there's a couple here with like 1,000 views. There's, I think, one with T-Series here with nearly 10,000 views. So
yeah, I would say
there's some good history.
Do me a favor, Rob. Go to most viewed on the left-hand side.
Yes, sir.
A lot of you guys don't use this tool, but it's one of the most amazing things about vidIQ. Now, do me a favor and type in something like T-Series. So vidIQ, our whole philosophy is called VPH, or views per hour. What YouTube calls this is velocity, and we call it VPH. So what you can do is you can type in any term. Paid plans get a lot more stuff than free versions, but you can type in any term and you can see what's trending the hardest. Hey, look at that.
There we are. Wow.
Our video is trending on the first page. So
awesome. You
can actually look at the thumbnails. You can see what's trending. You can see what the topics are. You can see what the channels are. You can also, with paid versions, you can sort by channels your size.
Yeah, so if we go down here, we can maybe select channels between 1 and 10,000 subscribers. So these are the ones who are really hitting that. Like a chap here with like 8,000 subscribers. They've got a live sub count on and getting 600 views per hour at the moment. So really
pretty amazing, right?
Really nailing that.
We call this your weight class, and the idea is pound for pound, can you do as well as someone in your weight class? You know, the similar subscribers, things like that, and then who is doing the best in your subscriber range, it's really interesting, and you can learn so much. So I would say for trend chasing is basically what this channel is doing. I would use this tool. And again, our paid versions are a million times more robust. But use this tool so you can really understand all the trends.
There you go, folks. A little demo there of one of our tools. Thank you again, Jeremy, for the very insightful look here at Unwanted Commentary. And I guess looking at your content, I think on that latest one, you must have spent hours video editing it and putting it together. And so we just hope that you are rewarded in some way in the future. I guess the one thing to say is that if we're going back to Article 13, is that a video like that would be so exposed to this concept of Article 13, and we're not criticizing it. It's like this, we've not necessarily done anything wrong with the videos that you do, but when you bring Article 13 into something like this, is such a channel like this going to be viable? And that's one of the things all video creators should be thinking about, I guess worrying about and hoping that effective change can be made on that. We're only 2 channels in, so we're going to try and get motoring here with some more channels, because we've just gone into so much detail in the ones that we've seen so far. Hopefully you're getting some really useful information which you can apply to your channel. The next one we are looking at is Smash and Crash Brothers. 500 subscribers. Congratulations to you, just hitting that landmark. New videos every Monday, Wednesday, I think you may need to just check your spelling there, and Friday on your channel. And just looking at the video consistency, I think you are keeping up to that consistency. So 3 videos a week, well done. It's tough to do that as a YouTube channel that's only been going for, well, let's see, how long have you been going for? 4 months? No, you got a lot of videos already done here, so that's good to see. There is consistency using that same font and that same sort of stylistic look. I think Jeremy's probably going to have a few comments about that, but just seeing in the last couple of weeks, it looks like you've transformed your thumbnail. So a new approach with, again, some color schemes, but making sure that you're in pictures more. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick out what I think Jeremy's favorite thumbnail is going to be. I think it's going to be that one.
Bingo. That's exactly
it's zoomed in, facial reactions, and so on. Now, what is this channel about? I think that's a question I would be asking, because when I look at the channel banner, Smash and Crash Brothers, that seems to me to suggest that it might be some sort of destruction channel in some way, or DIY or repair, but I don't really see that. I think
they're just doing silly things.
Yeah, it looks like pranks and skits. So maybe that needs to just be identified a bit more in the channel banner.
I would recommend figuring out. Go to sort by most popular.
Yep. There we go.
So Super Mechs. So far your best performing video is Super Mechs. I wonder.
That looks to be some video game, maybe.
I wonder if you could double down and make more videos on Super Mechs. I wonder if that could be, something you guys could learn from and get better at.
Yeah. Anything. So I think, I'm just looking at the titles, I guess. How do we make these more search intent? Just looking at this one, I think it's a relatively good thumbnail. There could probably be a bit more action in there. But how to escape? Who's searching for that as a title?
Escaping is huge right now. If you just type in how to escape, we can see, using the vidIQ tool, you can actually see, what people are searching for. And you can get, what we'd recommend is you would have a much longer tail title.
Yeah.
So right now, you're not going to rank very well for how to escape because you have a small channel.
Yeah.
But if you can scroll all the way up to the top, look at the right-hand side. Let's see, what are the other words that are being recommended?
I have no idea.
I don't know
if you want to go near that. Yeah. We're just entering this: how to escape a prison, escape fate, escape rooms.
And escape rooms are hot. They're I know there's some videos with millions and millions of views on 10 hacks to escape any escape room, things like that. There's a lot, millions and millions of views on escape rooms. So you may want to explore, instead of doing like a generic video on how to escape, you may want to say something like how to escape handcuffs or how to escape duct tape. You know, like you want to be very, very specific. Yeah. Also, most of the time, kids under the age of 18 with tape on their face or bound, all of those things will almost immediately be flagged for demonetization.
Yeah, so some, I guess, YouTube community guidelines to just keep an eye on there with your content. But I love the creativity of the thumbnails, and I think you're certainly improving them as you work through. And like you got again, eating competition. Can you pop rocks and soda kill you?
You got to focus.
Competition. Yeah. So like, what's the focus here? What do you want to do? And I mean, if you're just trying to find that out, brilliant. Keep doing what you're doing and continue to evolve and improve the content, and then maybe the strategy comes afterwards. So best of luck there, Smash and Crash Brothers. And when we should say 500 subscribers, that is not an easy thing to do. That's a hall full of people who have entered the doors and want to see your content. So congratulations on that. I think, yeah, as we say, some videos get 50 views, some get 2 views. So your audience wants to see something. You need to determine exactly what that is. Next channel we are looking at here is Hope Through Prophecy. Congratulations on breaking 10,000 subscribers. Looks to be a Christian religious channel. The Bible prophecy revealed. We got live streams and an upload, so 2 videos a week. And the channel seems to be doing relatively well here, Jeremy. We've got views in the thousands, and it's only been going 4 months, and they've not produced that many videos. So I guess consistency might be a question. It looks as if you've ramped up your output in the last month. I have no idea how to advise on a channel about religion, as I know some channels have been, whether rightly or wrongly, been flagged for demonetization and maybe given marks against them. Any tips and tricks here for a channel making their way through this topic on YouTube, Jeremy?
Yeah, I mean, you can't help what YouTube does. I would just create content the way you're going to create. Do me a favor, though. Sort by most popular, because I think I know what has happened. What has happened is Daniel 2, Urgent Bible Prophecy for Today. That video went, relatively speaking, for the size of your channel, it went viral.
It did,
with 100,000 views. I'm guessing a lot of your 10,000 subscribers came from this one video.
Absolutely. So this is where you might do, for example, just to advertise our tool a little bit again. If you click on Channel Audits, on the double down section, there should be a category that says subscriber gained, and you can check here, and it should be basically telling you that particular video on your channel is getting a lot of views. Like it's almost like your flagship video. So yeah, Jeremy, I think you're right here. Certainly hundreds.
So
if not
let's
thousands
definitely double down on this subject. Go make 20 more videos or 10 more videos or 5 more videos on this subject.
Yeah. And
double down and let's figure out why people are so interested. You know, read the comments, understand what people, what happened, you know, what was why did this video do better than the rest? So understand it, figure it out, make more content around that, double down on things that are doing well. Next Halloween, do 10 videos or 5 videos. Don't do 1. You know, this Christmas, you need to start making content like today, this week or next week for Christmas. Obviously, you know, that's like the biggest religious holiday of the year. So I would set out to make like a dozen videos from basically now until Easter. You know, there's all kinds of stuff happening that people are searching for. Another little trick that I would tell you is to go to Google Trends and then click on the YouTube web search. Instead of web search, click on YouTube. And then seasonally, go back for the last like 5+ years and start typing in Christian terms. And seasonally, let's see what people are searching
good idea.
for the most.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then seasonally make, Christianity style videos around Christmas, around Easter, around Passover. So writing these trends, people search for around holidays, they search for things 10 times more. So write those trends a little harder. I mean, religion is around a lot of physical holidays.
Yeah, I think you're right here that there's potential for more output here, isn't it? It's almost like you seem to have more or less got the topics nailed down. You're getting a lot of views. And what I also like is the like to dislike ratio is very high. So people are really connecting with your content very well. I think people just want to see more of it more often, if that's at all possible. So best of luck there, Hope Through Prophecy, and a fantastic channel you have. Next channel we're going to look at is our first gaming channel of the live stream, and it is Azura. That's how I'm going to pronounce your channel. Whenever there is a channel where I'm not sure how to pronounce it, I just try and slobber and drool because I'm not sure what I'm saying. 2,500 subscribers. So again, congratulations on the growth of your channel. The gaming channel, it's always hard to do. I'm trying to work out the Game of Thrones reference in your channel banner versus the content, because I think the content is about Fortnite. Those look like Fortnite screens, but I'm not entirely sure because they're not of the actual gameplay. There seems to be some sort of menu screen. So I don't know if that's intentional. I don't know if the idea behind this is if you're trying to promote the idea of, what is it, buying and selling and exchanging items or something. I mean, I'm sure there's people in the chat cursing me now because I have no idea how Fortnite works. But it seems as if you have something specifically you're targeting in Fortnite, which is having some success. I guess maybe the messaging just needs to be stronger on your channel banner, and then maybe the thumbnails need to have maybe a clearer message in each of these. Jeremy, we talk about gaming channels almost every week, so is there anything new that you can add to this?
The only thing I would say is I like the thumbnails on the right-hand side, those two on the first and second row. Those are
these,
really
yeah, cool. Okay. So in this one, that you're actually taking the game screen, but then bringing a main object to focus. So yeah, it's a good point. Yeah.
Those are really good. I'm guessing that you're completely missing the terms people are searching for, the main overlying term that people are searching for. I don't know if it's exchange. Like, I don't know what. I'm not a Fortnite nerd, but I'm guessing that there's something this screen and purchasing and trading or whatever. I'm guessing that's called something in Fortnite, and you seem to be missing that thing. So the bigger category term, I call this nested phrases or focus phrases. I'm guessing that you could probably 5 to 10-fold your views if all of your videos had that phrase and term, the tag styles and descriptions.
So here's the thing, folks, about titles, is that I can now, as I mouse over, Jeremy can't see this, but as I mouse over, it gives me the full title description. And it says here, like this one, before you buy tarot, all skin and black blings combination in Fortnite. And it looks as if in many of these titles, Fortnite is at the end, or there's this term being used, item shop in Fortnite. So maybe that could be item shop in Fortnite. Let's just do a quick search on that. So yeah, it does come up as like one of the first results. Maybe that needs to be a much more further to the front in
Fortnite item
titles. Shop
in the very beginning of every title.
Yeah,
and then whatever you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, we only need to scroll down like 4 or 5 videos, and we're already seeing smaller channels ranking on the first page of this area. So I think this is an opportunity for you to maybe to capitalize on as a channel. So I think that's the best advice we can offer you on that one. there we are. So good luck with your channel, and congratulations. As I said before, it's always difficult to break past the first 1,000 subscribers on a gaming channel, and you've certainly done it. Folks, what we're going to do here right now is take a quick break, and we're going to get back into some questions that you're going to be firing your way. So if you do have any questions about YouTube, line them up in the next couple of minutes, and we will try and answer them. And then we will take a look at some more channels to audit. We'll be back in a few minutes. Jeremy, as always, please be silent, as if you talk, everybody can hear you. Back in a minute. Alrighty, folks, we are returning here for the vidIQ live stream. Just bringing Jeremy back into shot. We have a limited amount of time left with the Guru Geek Legend Skateboarding Aficionado Jeremy there. So we're going to try and use this time as effectively as possible. So folks, if you have any questions, now we want to hear them. We're going to read them out and try and answer them as best we can, and then get on some more channel audits, which I'm going to do solo this week. The first question here is Dawson Creek in the Philippines. Is there an average for how many subscribers successful channels get in the first month? Trying to see where I fit in. I think this is probably the answer to you is don't try and compare yourselves to other channels at any stage. And the reason for that is that all channels grow at different speeds, especially in different niches. If you want to maybe find a target for the first month, I think if you're getting more than 100 subscribers in your first month, you're doing something very right, but it could depend on your video output. If you get more than 10 subscribers for some channels, that is a fantastic achievement in the very first month. And it usually takes about 6 months for you to really understand and get to know how YouTube works. So I think always treat the first 6 months as your kindergarten introduction to YouTube. So I hope that helps. Jeremy, what else have we got there? Any questions that you can see?
I was just noticing that Panther. Have you seen Panther?
What Panther is this in the channel in the chat?
Yeah, and the chat was talking about basically asking He's getting 350 subscribers a day and a lot of views, but
Sweet. Yeah, awesome.
Not a lot of watch time. What's really cool, if you go to his channel, it's a Fortnite channel where he's teaching people how to fix things wrong with like root devices and things. So another super niche that's getting him 1 trillion views on Fortnite. I love that. Love seeing people getting creative and answering questions people are having with issues with Fortnite. So I just wanted to first off say that's good job by covering things people need and no one else is doing. And then secondly, I would say, okay, you're getting 350 subscribers a day to people that have a problem on Fortnite. I wonder if you can find a way to make them a community, how do you take someone that learned from you on Fortnite and then make content around that they actually care about?
That is always hard to do, especially in educational areas, because usually people are, we always say that to begin with, people don't care about you. And that's even more so in the how-to and educational area of YouTube, because they just want an answer to something. And so that can be really hard to do. And you're saying that you don't get much watch time, so it's probably that you're giving the answer too early in your videos, or you may need to make shorter videos which give the answer, and then just produce shorter, quicker videos on a more consistent basis. So I think there's a bit of experimentation to go there. But as Jeremy says, I think to be getting 300 plus subscribers a day, 5,000 views, you're 95% of the way there to working out YouTube. It's just, as Jeremy says, building that community is something that's hard to do, and even harder in the gaming area. So maybe if you want to bring yourself in front of camera more, introduce more of your quirks and sort of try and intertwine them into the story of each video, that of course is hard to do as well. Dark Shadow 666 asking, how is the mobile version going? It's going along nicely. It is going to appear. We are I think we were talking about it again on Monday, because every time somebody asks, I think, it's going to be ready soon, and then maybe we just got another little thing to tweak them. We keep looking at it and thinking, what does a viewer, will a user want to use this today, tomorrow, and the following day? And it's like, well, no, maybe it needs another tweak. So I would say stay tuned, and we're talking about maybe in a month or two at this point. So yeah, that's all I can reveal on that one. Next question, Jeremy, do you have one?
Is vidIQ a big channel? I know Rob and I both have really big heads, so maybe that is what we're asking. No, Happy Ron asks, should he change his channel name to Music and Inspirational Quotes? The answer is no. It's not going to really help. From an SEO perspective, if you have competitive terms like inspirational quotes, the name of the channel is really not going to help anymore. If it's not a very competitive field, then it would help. But I wouldn't change it. I'll just have it your name.
Abdi M says, if you use copyright material, is it going to affect you when you grow your channel? Yes, don't do it. That's a simple answer to that. Gamer Geek, my video of Pac-Man is getting 30,000 views, but not any other video works the same way. Why? So I can't understand it. This is just one of those things which happens where a certain video, it triggers the algorithm, or it's shared, or somehow it just gets a lot of views, or you've really touched a point on which hasn't been filled by any other video creator. Our simple answer to that is double down on that content in as fast and strong a way as possible multiple times. Without knowing more about your channel, let's say you did a video on Pac-Man and then you did another one on another retro game which wasn't quite the same. People just probably want to see more of what you did on Pac-Man. What else have we got?
Yeah, a lot of super user tech mods. I've hit 3,000 this week. Thank you guys. I found you guys around 500 subs. That's pretty awesome. Tech mods, you are awesome. We love you.
I will just add a super user tech mods. I recently purchased a NVIDIA Shield in Black Friday sales because I know that's what you cover. I am having chronic issues with it at the moment. It's so frustrating, but maybe we need to chat about that off the live stream. What else have we get here? Samuel Duram, last week you discussed channel trailers. Isn't it better to do a channel introduction such as one by Charisma on Command? His 2-minute video sold me that channel. I think I think it's certainly worth experimenting with. We found that with our channel trailer, or I just wanted to experiment and decide whether or not a channel trailer was of particular strength or just one that converted subscribers. Jeremy, you've not really had any input in this yet. What do you think about channel trailers? Should you create a channel trailer, or given the fact that not a lot of people will see it, maybe you're putting too much effort into it now that people watch more on mobile? Should you use a video that converts most subscribers? Or any thoughts on that?
I mean, if you're a brand like a company, I would have a channel trailer. One idea to look at is to see what percentage of people ever go to your channel page. Usually it's like less than 5%. Yeah. So 95% of the people will never theoretically see your channel trailer. I will say that if you want to just have a good YouTube experience for anyone that comes to your channel, I would have a channel trailer. If you want to optimize your time, you may be wiser spent making a little bit better video that week than making a channel trailer.
Yeah. It's one of those things along the lines of a playlist, like fixing your channel description and all of these things that you want to make, as you say, give a complete experience on your YouTube channel, but something has to suffer because of that. And it's like, oh, well, I've got a really good idea for a video, so I'm going to put this trailer onto the back burner for the next week and the next week. So yeah, we did a video on it. So Samuel, I think you've probably already watched that. But yeah, we talked about channel trailers very recently. Nightbot is saying YouTubers, don't forget to install vidIQ. Thank you, Nightbot. We do appreciate the promotion there. If anybody gets that joke, do give us a thumbs up emoji or something along those lines. And any final questions, Jeremy? How long have you got, just out of interest?
A couple more minutes.
Okay, yeah, we'll keep Jeremy's time here with just any more questions that you have. Frank Foti saying that trailers are good for commercial businesses. So yeah, maybe from a commercial aspect, it's certainly a lot more applicable to help get that a sale or build up that relationship. And thank you for the thumbs ups coming there from MJ Bro HD and Caleb TX and Gamer Geek. Just looking if there's any more questions we have here. What do you use for thumbnails?
I personally use Adobe Photoshop. What do you use, Rob?
I use Photoshop as well, thanks to some great tutelage from Jeremy. I think that is on my to-do list. I'm going to show you how I make my thumbnails at some point on the channel. I just need to get around to doing it.
Canva and PicMonkey are also good.
Free alternatives, yeah.
Yeah.
My video just got rated 18+. Does this affect the success of a video? That's from Shrek.
Don't click on the channel. Don't click on the channel.
Yeah, I'm not gonna click on it, but yeah, absolutely. Once your video gets flagged for it being like any sort of restriction to content, I think that does affect search and discovery. That seems to be what a lot of people say, and generally, yeah, it's going to affect your channel.
Also, just the age group of people on YouTube is slightly younger, so you're, of course it's going to affect you.
Yeah. Jeremy, have you thought about trimming that beard? Are you doing Movember?
No, I'm just lazy. That's all.
Yeah, but you see, we're out of conference season right now, so we just all let it hang out. I'm actually not wearing anything below the waist today. That's how relaxed and chilled I am. Okay, we've just got an age restriction here after that comment. We are now 18+ on this live stream as well. Yadani Santos, why do my numbers jump up and down? That's how YouTube works. We can't answer any more than that. Just make you will go through trend troughs and peaks as a video creator, and you just have to accept those ups and downs. As long as your curve is going sort of like that over like a 6 or 12 month period, that's what you want to be concentrating on. Don't worry about the single video not doing well. It's all about overall channel growth. Any last questions there, Jeremy, before you got to head out for the day?
Yeah, why do I get 900 subscribers and then lose 900 subscribers? The answer is you're not providing the value people want from you. That's the unfortunate actual answer.
I think this might be a question coming from a lot of people who've been reporting that they've lost, like specifically 900 to 800 subscribers in the last couple of days, and I think that was
PURGE.
either a YouTube purge or there was a glitch in the system, because I've seen some people who've got those subscribers immediately back. But yeah, if you lose a mass wad of subscribers, that's usually because YouTube's done a purge, checking whether an account's real or legitimate and getting rid of them. So you wouldn't be getting any views or watch time from them anyway. And if people have been engaging in sub for sub, that's what's eventually going to happen to your channel at some point. How to APPL, what is the general time to take from start to 1,000 subscribers? I'm just going to do that. It varies from channel to channel. Stop worrying about hitting your target, hitting such a target. Aim for something more manageable. Your first 50 subscribers, your first 100 subscribers.
I have a friend who's been doing YouTube since like YouTube was developed, and he's about to hit 50,000 subscribers, and he's the slowest growing channel. It's like, I would rather watch a channel with, like just watching plants grow, maybe. But his channel's phenomenal. He just took a heck of a long time to get there. He's at almost 50,000 subscribers, but he's been doing it like 11 years. So if you run your own race and you don't worry about other people and you help people and you develop an actual community, he makes about $400,000 a year out of that 50,000 people.
Yeah.
Period. Like, he helps people learn how to make their small businesses better with marketing, and he's very good at what he does. His channel's small compared to other channels, but he makes 3-4 times more money than some of these bigger channels. So run your own race. Don't care what other people think, and have a plan, a monetization plan, and rock your life. That's it.
Yeah, you will find rock your life. You will find that if you love the YouTube journey, the numbers mean less and less, and what you'll find at some point when you least expect it, you'll have that boost in views or boost in subscribers, and at that point you've already put in the hard work and you're just finally getting the reward for it. Jeremy, I don't know if you need to head off now, but it has been an absolute pleasure as always spending an hour of your day with us. Any final thoughts before you head off?
No, I just want to make sure you guys come next week, Tuesday, same time. What are we going to talk about next week, Rob? I'm just putting you on the spot.
Yeah, folks, what do you want us to talk about next week? If you maybe we should have it like a viewer's choice December. We ask the viewers at the end of each live stream what we should do, and we'll look at that topic for next week. So that's how I deflected your question, Jeremy. Goodbye, and I will speak to you later on. Best of luck with a website that we're putting together, which hopefully should be live very soon.
It's
all right,
live.
Jeremy. It's live. Well, there we go, folks. If you want to check out our new website, do check out vidIQ.com, which hopefully is working. Jeremy now says goodbye, so we will go just to my screen here. And thanks, as always, for joining us on the vidIQ live stream. What we're going to do now, if my graphics are working, is we're going to do some quick audits to try and get through as many as we can. We got a lot loaded up, and I'm going to be honest, this is going to be like a gamers special part of the live stream because there are a lot of gaming channels to take a look at. Let's do this. All right, the first channel we're looking at is not a gaming channel, but after this we've got lots of gaming channels. Dawson Creek in the Philippines, I think he asked the question just recently. So here we go. We got pre-congratulations on the 100 subscribers you're going to get. And yeah, somebody was asking how long should it take, what should you expect in your first month? I think hitting 100 subscribers in your first month is a fantastic target to try and achieve. And this channel is already looks as if they're going to do that more or less. Quick suggestions I would say is that your channel is about, I guess, is it about living in the Philippines? Is it a vlog of some kind? You got a winter walk around Edmonton, so that's Canada. So maybe you've made a trip back to Canada, possibly. I think maybe some channel focus, letting us know what your channel's about, either in the introduction of your videos or in the channel banner, would help. And then maybe some more search intent titles would possibly help you out here about saying, what's a common theme here? That's, I think, what I need to know as a new video creator. A couple of thumbnail tips. The text is a little difficult to read, especially having red text. Like this text is almost impossible to read beach or snow. and try and get a bit more consistency. But as a channel just starting out, 100 subscribers, views already in the triple digits, an excellent start there for you. I'm just going to fix Jeremy's face there. And that's it for you, Dawson Creek. So good luck with your channel and just keep it up. Yeah, very early channel. You've only done 7 videos so far. So maybe make 50 to 100 videos and then start to review your progress at that point. Next channel we're looking at, we've already looked at that one, is, if I can find one which we haven't looked at, is Panther. Okay, so Panther, we've been speaking about your channel very recently. You are, as you say, getting huge numbers of views, like 12,000 views, 20,000 views, 33,000 views on a channel with 7,000 subscribers. That is awesome work. Your thumbnails are fantastic. Look at how simple they are. And I think the common theme here is that you have no root on each of your videos, which I think looks to be very important in your content. But the thumbnails tell us something very quick and easy, which I like, and then that's extrapolated in the title. I think one thing I might say is that you're getting a lot, maybe quite a high number of dislikes. Likes to dislikes ratio is quite high. Is that because the advice you're giving isn't being borne out in the actual content? Maybe that's something to look at. But yeah, I think we answered a lot of your questions in the video in the question that you asked. It looks as if you're already doing relatively short videos. I mean, like in a video that's 4 minutes long, if you're getting 50% watch time, like around about 2 minutes, that's brilliant. So maybe you need to just review your watch time and see if you're actually not getting a lot of watch time, because I would say that YouTube is certainly favoring you. The fact that you're getting 40,000 views on a video and you only have 7,000 subscribers, that means YouTube likes the content and is sharing it out on a regular basis. The thing you want to look at in the new analytics is, let me just quickly let me show you the analytic that I want you to have a look at here. Just bear with me, Unwanted Commentary. What I want you to look at here is in the beta studio, I want you to go to analytics, and I want you to look at reach viewers, and I want you to have a look at this funnel, this thing here. If that is mostly orange, which I assume it will be, YouTube is recommending your content, which means they're doing all of the hard work. And if you're keeping that like above 40-50%, you are doing everything right. So I think general advice for you is just keep on doing what you're doing, because it seems to be working very well for your channel. And best of luck, especially in Fortnite, a very crowded sector on YouTube. Next channel, another one that looks to be a Fortnite channel. It is 166 subscribers. Again, very strong thumbnails. And maybe you need to look at the Panther channel and think, why is this channel doing much better than mine? Is it because they are focusing on a particular topic, whereas you are looking at, what's this, a shotgun squad, best duos ever, carrying the best mobile player? So maybe you're jumping around a little bit in the Fortnite topic. This is where we've seen success in such a crowded market, finding a particular topic, question to answer, theme on Fortnite and doubling down on that. So that's what I would suggest to you, and maybe clean up your channel banner a little bit. If it's about Fortnite, make that a bit stronger in your content there. Just going to go back to Panther because I just want to check. You have a community tab and you are using it, which is awesome. So yeah, just as channels with over 1,000 subscribers, I do encourage you all to use the community tab as much as possible. Hackintosh, I think I've covered your channel before, or we've discussed it before. It looks as if you're having some fantastic growth here in the last month or so. I think did we suggest that we suggest you get in front of camera more? I seem to remember maybe suggesting that, especially in this one, Build the Perfect Hackintosh Computer Beginner's Guide. That's done very well, so maybe you need to do some more beginner's guides, because I think people trying to understand Hackintosh are probably completely new to this area, certainly on YouTube if they're searching for that content. So I think that's definitely a video that you could potentially double down on. But yeah, I think you're doing very well, covering a very specific area, and it looks as if you're trying to reduce the amount of text on your thumbnails and give more imagery, which is certainly looking to work to a certain extent on your channel. So I think keep it up here. I guess the one question is, you have 1,600 subscribers versus the thousands of views you're getting on most of your videos. So again, YouTube is promoting your content to much wider base than your subscribers. Maybe you need to do some more calls to action to get people to subscribe to your channel, to get them to stick with your content. Maybe some video series that have like the beginner's guide part 1 looking at a certain area and then another certain area, and you can get people subscribing to watch to binge watch how to Hackintosh effectively. I'll check again on the community tab. Boom. Okay, here we go. You do not have any community posts yet. Start using it, because as I've said before in live stream and on videos, the community posts will reach beyond your subscriber base, and with the amount of people who are watching your content, you may be able to reach those people with some community posts. Check out our videos on how to use that area of YouTube. Okay, Joker Agario, you're focusing on one particular game, which is Agario, and yeah, I don't really know what to suggest here. You're getting awesome views on your videos, like 10,000 views, 16,000 views. That all looks phenomenal. You're getting a good like to dislike ratio. It looks as if you're the king of Agario with what you're doing. So I think just maybe tweak your channel banner to reflect the Agario content that you produce. You don't have any community posts either, so that's another area where you should certainly start thinking about utilizing the spread of your message. Maybe fix the about section as well. These are all maybe little tweaks. You've got no playlist either. So I think whatever you're doing very well. I think probably the people who are looking at these thumbnails probably understand what they mean more than me. I've played Agario a little bit, but yeah, you seem to be crushing it. So just a few tweaks there for that channel. Volcanic Idris. Okay, so what I would say about this channel is that just briefly looking at it, I think the last 2 or 3 channels we looked at, we know exactly what this channel's about. This channel, I couldn't really tell you what it's about. We've got a video here about Slivero. We've got one here about Instagram, Sniper Assassin. I think you need to decide what your channel focus is going to be for a little while, and then focus on that, whatever you want to do. So the first thing you might want to do is sort your videos by most popular, and we can immediately see that Sliver.io is one of your most popular videos. Can you do some more content focusing on that area to appeal to the 200 subscribers that you have? That's the one that seems to work most. So yeah, I think definitely channel focus is what you want to look at first. Woobs, another channel here. Well, this is another Agario channel, I think, which is getting a tremendous amount of views. And again, I'm not really sure what to suggest here. I think the one thing that I can see in all of your videos, and maybe this is something that Joker Agario can maybe look at, is does this green arrow in all of the thumbnails just pointing to the focus of the thumbnail have such a huge impact that really helps with click-through rate? Maybe that's something that the other channel wants to look at. And hey, maybe you two could do a collab of some kind here, because Woobs is certainly crushing it on Agario. I think the most powerful thumbnail is probably that one, like revenge, and then one thing in the middle surrounded by lots of objects. That seems to be a really powerful thumbnail. Very good stuff there. Just one thing to look at. Community tab. You need to start using the community tab as well. Awesome channel on a single game, doing very well. The Bushcraft Padawan, welcome back to the channel. You've been certainly helping us out with some of the bugs we've been having on our channel recently. I think just continuing to follow on the advice that we've given you before. Certainly so. I mean, previously the thumbnails were very text heavy, focusing on maybe a particular object in your videos, and now we're going for a much more of you in front of camera. And I guess a question for you would be, in the 2 months that you've been experimenting, how have you found your content? Are people watching it longer? Are you building up more of a community? Or are your videos being watched? I think now would be a good time to take stock of what the analytics are telling you, certainly in terms of click-through rate and watch time, pretty much the 2 most important metrics on YouTube, and make a decision there. But I think in terms of what you've been doing, I think it's been quite effective, and just continue to do it. Sorry if there isn't much more advice that we can give you there, but I think, just reviewing your own channel at this point and working out whether the changes you made have been positive or negative is the thing you should be doing now. Halloween Charlie, I know we've reviewed your channel before as well. You are reaching 2,000 subscribers. Congratulations, pre-congratulations. Let's hope you get there before Christmas. You're looking at TikTok as a trend here. Still, we're loving the facial reactions that you have on the on your videos. I think we're at a point now where, in order to further audit your channel, we need to be looking at maybe the content and seeing what you can improve there. I guess maybe in recent videos you haven't quite been hitting the view counts that you were previously. Is this because you were covering a particular video game in the past and you're maybe moving away from that to new video games and looking at the TikTok memes? Maybe your audience isn't resonating as well there. I think certainly one thing that you should be looking at here is whether you're getting the same comments from video creators and what the watch time is. Maybe check there, see if there's any trends that you're noticing. An interesting thing here is that you haven't got the community tab yet, which you should do. Maybe you want to give YouTube a quick nudge on Twitter to see if you can get a community tab. I know that for some people they'd be having to wait a week or so to get that community tab. Next up, we have Sticky Situations. I saw this channel and I wasn't really sure where to go with this because I don't know how appropriate the content is. It looks like a reaction channel on content that you're watching, but then you were talking about kidnapping and you were wearing a balaclava in your thumbnails, and I was just wondering whether, again, the age appropriateness of that content. It looks as if you're doing very well on certain trends here. Like some videos get 600 views, but then others get thousands of views. And I think it's those videos that you probably want to be, the trends in those videos that you want to be following. Certainly. Yeah, I mean, look, I guess these last 3 or 4 videos were community videos, and you can always tell how those affect your reach and viewership, but sometimes you need to do those to talk directly to your audience. Pretty much like these live streams. We know that these live streams don't necessarily do as well as our video on demand, but we want to have a direct conversation with you, the audience, in these videos. So yeah, maybe I think certainly looking at what's performing best, the video series that are performing best on your content and concentrating on them. I think one more thing as well is some of the text is difficult to read on some of your thumbnails, and like for example on a channel banner, I don't even know what that says even if I use my magnifying glass. So I think maybe some graphical cleanup might help you. Just generally speaking, maybe there's too much going on in your thumbnails. Like there's 4 faces there. Maybe we need 2 faces more zoomed in with a better reaction. So maybe just keep working on your thumbnails there. But 10,000 subscribers, congratulations there on breaking that recent landmark. And yeah, you seem to be using the community tab as well, which is awesome to see. Next channel, Karl Mar, 17 subscribers. So I guess you're new to YouTube, although you've been producing a lot of content. And I can see that you are concentrating on Red Dead Redemption 2. With live streams. It looks as if you weren't having much success with those live streams to begin with. And you've changed your thumbnail. But just looking at your general thumbnails, there is a bit of repetition here, and I think maybe a suggestion might be to try some non-live streaming content on your channel. Try and establish yourself a little bit, or maybe you need to live stream on Twitch and take some of the best moments from those Twitch videos and put them onto YouTube, pretty much like a Ninja does on his channel, just surpassed 20 million subscribers. I think it's a bit of a tough sell to immediately jump into live streaming as a channel and expect people to watch your content when you're still a relatively small channel, and like, oh, do I want to watch a 4-hour live stream? That's a tough sell. So yeah, maybe if you could chop some of these live streams down into snippets to help yourself, or do a weekly roundup of where you've been getting on Red Dead Redemption, may help you with your channel. But welcome to YouTube, and it's great to see that you know what your channel focus is. Certainly Red Dead Redemption. I mean, you did try a video here which was had more views than anything else. I think 36 views versus the single and double digits. And have you been taking a bit of a break? Because you were playing a lot a few weeks ago, and then there was a break here where you've only done two videos in the last couple of weeks. What are we looking at here? Liquid Ocelot. I know you contribute a lot on YouTube, so thank you very much for all of the comments and support that you provide us in YouTube on all of the videos that you watch. What is your focus then? So I can see you've got videos about Command and Conquer, but then videos about Destiny, and then back to Command and Conquer. I think that would certainly be the question I would be asking. Your channel banner is Darmin, so I think there's a few confusing aspects there for perhaps a new visitor to your channel. So yeah, it looks as if it's about Command and Conquer, but I can't quite be sure. There's one about Android emulation, which did a little better. So yeah, maybe channel focus there for you. But thanks as always. I know you're a big contributor to the channel, so that is really appreciated. And Science Games, we covered your channel a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, it looks as hey, I think, are you starting to build up some momentum here? Yeah, I think you may be. We had views here in the double digits, a couple in the hundreds, and now we're seeing some videos in the hundreds of views. One here with 300 views. So yeah, you're certainly starting to build a rapport, I think, here with your audience by focusing on one game. Did you cover the recent Mars landing from NASA? Maybe that was something you could incorporate as a trend into your content. But yeah, just keep it up, I think. Thumbnails are basic but strong in terms of the story that they're trying to tell. Maybe you need to still think about consistency with fonts, changing a little bit from video to video, and whenever, I guess, red on black works as a font. But yeah, congratulations on your continued growth, and let's hope you hit 200 subscribers by the end of this year. Folks, as always, it has been an absolute pleasure to audit your channel today, and I think just be brave and allow your content to be scrutinized by both myself and Jeremy, who was here earlier on in the live stream. We will be back, of course, next week. So I'm just going to hang around here for a little while. If you want to say your goodbyes, I'll do some shout outs, and let us know the topic that you would like us to cover next week on vidIQ. If you enjoyed this live stream, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and share this content with other like-minded video creators who want to be educated on their YouTube journey to help grow their channels. Thank you very much, Panther. You are most welcome. Mr. Torbuild, you just got your shout out there. Science Games, you're getting a shout out. Thank you very much, Gamer Geek, for the, I think, 40 rubles in the super chat there. Very much appreciated. Cray, Cams, you've probably filled out the form right, but we get like about 100 submissions every single week, and I try and do new channels every week. So if you missed it this time, make sure to fill out the form next week. Probably do it 15 minutes before the live stream, as that's when I'm starting to look through this form to put people on there. I delete the form every single week and start again from scratch, just so I know that people filling out the form will be in the live stream. Panther, you want us to do a video on watch time? We'll consider it. Super User Tech Mods, you are most welcome. NVIDIA Shield, I can't get it. I haven't got it in my head yet. I tried to put some apps on there, and the navigation just seems absolutely crazy. Gamer Geek, we will try and audit your channel next week. Thank you again for the super chat, but we don't audit channels based on super chat contributions. Hyper Shiva, you've just got your shout out. On Song International, thank you for being in the live stream as usual. Noteworthy Sagas and Stories, you're most welcome for joining on the live stream today. Peddling with Paul, thank you for the request for people to not ask for audits. We do appreciate that, but thank you for joining the live stream. Unwanted Commentary, yes, everybody should go and watch his Amazon Killed the Retail Store video. It's a good musical montage there. A lot of effort was put into it. Gamer Geek, thank you for the smiles there. The Classic Gents, goodbye to you too. How can I check on gaming trends? That's maybe one we can look at next week. Trends for you. AV12, all about glam Sophie, you just got your shout out. Caleb TB Agario, you're getting your shout out. We'll get some musical background here as we say goodbye to XX Strimbus Extreme XX, that's a long username to say goodbye to. Bowling's happily ever after, goodbye to you for another week. Hypershiva, make sure you fill out the form every single week as we delete it every single week to make sure that we're auditing the channels who are going to be in the live stream. Daily Odd, just keep reapplying. Digital Jedi Master coming in to say you missed it. Yes, unfortunately you did miss it. We're saying our goodbyes today, right now. Goodbye to the Nightbot, who's just suggested that you install vidIQ once again. Thank you to Dark Gunner 45 Gaming. You fill out the form in the video description, but wait until next week to do that. Folks, it's been wonderful, it's been emotional. Enjoy the rest of your video making day, and we will see you next week as we roll into December.